fire destroyed 17,000 plus buildings. October 8th, 1871. Chicago. A city drunk on ambition, bursting at the seams with industry and immigrants, rises from the muddy shores of Lake Michigan. Lumberyards line the river, feeding a construction boom unparalleled in American history. Wooden sidewalks bake under the autumn sun, leading to hastily built homes and businesses, all tinder dry. The air itself crackles with anticipation, and a low, almost imperceptible hum of danger. For weeks, the city has been parched, starved of rain, a fact little noticed amidst the frenetic pace of growth. But something is about to ignite, something far more destructive than the petty squabbles and backroom deals that fuel Chicago's relentless expansion. Something born of neglect, arrogance, and the intoxicating belief that progress can conquer anything, even nature itself. The night air carries a faint, acrid smell, almost like burning leaves, but no one seems to pay it much mind. The O'Leary family lives in a small cottage behind their barn on DeKoven Street, in the heart of the city's working-class Irish neighborhood. Catherine O'Leary, a hardworking woman known for her dairy business, is often blamed for the calamity to come. Legend says her cow kicked over a lantern, igniting the dry straw in the barn. But the truth, like the flames that would soon engulf the city, is far more complex and shrouded in mystery. That Sunday evening, neighbors recall seeing a strange, flickering light emanating from the O'Leary's property. Some whisper of a drunken party, others of careless children playing with matches. But whatever the cause, a spark found fuel, and a small flame danced to life, unnoticed at first, a tiny harbinger of the inferno to come. The first hint of smoke curls into the night sky, thin and innocent, a deceitful messenger of the terror that waits. The initial alarm is delayed. The watchman in the district is slow to respond, misjudging the location and severity of the fire. Precious minutes tick away, and the blaze gains strength, feeding on the dry wood and a stiff southwest wind. By the time firefighters arrive, the O'Leary's barn is already engulfed, flames licking at the nearby buildings. Chaos erupts. Residents scramble to save their belongings, clogging the narrow streets. The fire, initially contained to a small area, jumps from rooftop to rooftop, driven by the relentless wind. A sense of panic begins to grip the city, a cold dread that whispers of something far beyond a simple house fire. The bells of the firehouse clang, a desperate call for help lost in the growing roar of the flames. As the fire spreads, it reveals a shocking truth. Chicago is a city built on kindling. Wooden buildings, tightly packed together, act as fuel, transforming the city into a giant furnace. The firemen, brave but ill-equipped, are overwhelmed. Their hoses are too short, their water pressure too weak. The fire seems to have a life of its own, a malevolent entity consuming everything in its path. Then the unthinkable happens. The courthouse, supposedly fireproof, erupts in flames. The symbol of law and order, the very foundation of the city, crumbles before the unstoppable blaze. The sight sends a wave of despair through the already terrified population. All hope seems lost. Rumors begin to swirl, fueled by fear and uncertainty. Some claim the fire was an act of God, a punishment for Chicago's sins. Others whisper of arson, blaming rival gangs or disgruntled immigrants. The O'Leary family becomes the scapegoat, their name forever linked to the disaster. But beneath the surface of these rumors lies a darker possibility, that the fire was not an accident at all, but a deliberate act of destruction, a twisted plot to reshape the city in someone's own image. Whispers emerge of land speculators eager to rebuild, insurance scams gone awry, even whispers of a citywide conspiracy. The truth, however, remains elusive, buried beneath the ashes of a devastated city. Then comes the Great Leap, a phenomenon that defies explanation. The fire jumps the Chicago River, a supposed fire break, and spreads to the city's wealthy north side. This leap defies all logic, seemingly carried by the sheer force of the wind and the intensity of the heat. The city's elite, who had previously felt immune to the disaster, now find themselves fleeing for their lives. Mansions and businesses alike are consumed, reducing fortunes to ash. The fire becomes a great leveler, indifferent to wealth or status. Even the city's waterworks, its lifeline, succumb to the flames, cutting off the supply of water and rendering the firemen powerless. The inferno now rages unchecked, a terrifying spectacle of destruction. As the firestorm intensifies, a new suspect emerges. A series of smaller fires that broke out throughout the city in the weeks leading up to the Great Fire. These fires, dismissed as minor incidents at the time, now appear as a disturbing pattern, a possible sign of a coordinated effort to weaken the city's defenses. One such fire, near a lumberyard south of the city, caused significant damage and stretched the fire department thin. Could these fires have been connected? A deliberate attempt to set the stage for the larger conflagration? The question hangs in the air, unanswered, adding another layer of intrigue to the already complex mystery. As the flames raged, witnesses reported strange occurrences, almost impossible events that fueled the idea that a natural event had been amplified by other factors. Some saw fireballs streaking across the sky, igniting buildings far from the main blaze. Others spoke of a peculiar wind, seemingly directed at specific targets. These accounts, dismissed by some as the product of hysteria, suggest the possibility of outside interference, a hidden hand guiding the flames. Could cutting-edge technology, then still in its infancy, have been used to direct the fire? Or was this simply mass hysteria? The mystery deepens. Suddenly, a political scandal erupts. Allegations surface that city officials were warned of the fire danger, but ignored the warnings, prioritizing profit and development over safety. Rumors circulate of corrupt building inspectors who turned a blind eye to fire code violations in exchange for bribes. The city's rapid growth, it turns out, had come at a terrible cost. Could negligence and corruption have contributed to the disaster, transforming a small fire into a city-destroying inferno? The finger-pointing begins, and the search for scapegoats intensifies, obscuring the true causes of the tragedy. The fire finally burns itself out after 2 days of unrelenting destruction, leaving behind a smoldering wasteland. The city is in ruins, its infrastructure shattered, its economy crippled. Thousands are homeless, their lives turned upside down. But amidst the devastation, a spirit of resilience emerges. Chicagoans, driven by an indomitable will, begin the long and arduous task of rebuilding their city. Yet, even as the city rises from the ashes, the mystery of the Great Chicago Fire remains, a haunting reminder of the fragility of human ambition and the power of unchecked forces. But amidst the ashes, evidence begins to emerge of something far more sinister: insurance fraud on a massive scale. Businesses, facing financial ruin in the economic downturn, saw the fire as an opportunity to escape their debts. They intentionally overinsured their properties, knowing that a fire would provide them with a way out. Some even went so far as to hire arsonists to set their buildings ablaze, adding fuel to the already raging inferno. This betrayal of public trust, this calculated act of greed, casts a dark shadow over the rebuilding effort, revealing a city where profit often trumped morality. As the investigation continues, a key witness disappears: a former city employee who claimed to have evidence of widespread corruption and negligence. The witness, who had been cooperating with investigators, vanished without a trace, leaving behind only rumors of foul play. Some believe the witness was silenced by powerful individuals who feared exposure. Others suspect the witness simply fled the city, fearing for their own safety. Whatever the reason, the disappearance effectively shut down the investigation, leaving many questions unanswered. The truth, it seems, was too dangerous to be revealed. In the aftermath, a scapegoat is needed. Catherine O'Leary, the Irish immigrant woman whose cow was supposedly responsible for the fire, becomes the focus of public anger and scorn. Despite conflicting evidence and unreliable testimony, she is vilified in the press and blamed for the city's destruction. The truth about the real cause of the fire, the negligence, the corruption, the potential arson, is buried beneath a mountain of prejudice and misinformation. Catherine O'Leary becomes a symbol of the city's failures, a convenient target for the public's wrath. Years later, a confession surfaces. A man on his deathbed claims to have started the fire, not Catherine O'Leary's cow. He admits to being part of a gang of gamblers who were trying to rob the O'Leary's barn, but even this confession is shrouded in doubt. The man's motives are unclear, and his story is inconsistent. Is he telling the truth, or is he simply seeking notoriety in his final moments? The confession adds another layer of complexity to the mystery, leaving the question of responsibility unresolved. Today, the Great Chicago Fire remains a potent symbol of both destruction and resilience. The city rebuilt itself, becoming a testament to human ingenuity and determination. But the mystery of the fire persists, a reminder of the hidden forces that can shape history. Was it an accident, a conspiracy, or a combination of both? The truth may never be fully known, lost forever in the ashes of a city reborn.